What is it about these cars that keep us coming back? For decades, Hot Wheels have captured our imagination. And maybe it's because you, and I mean you, can imagine yourself behind the wheel of the Batmobile or the DeLorean from Back to the Future or a Jaguar F-Type. And you get to do things with these cars that you don't get to do in the real world with real cars. So today we're going to take a look at the newest offering from Hot Wheels. Now, it's been around for a little while, but this is the Hot Wheels Track ID system. It's called Hot Wheels ID. Coming right up. Alright guys, so today we're going to take a look at the Hot Wheels ID system. Now, this system has been out for a little while. It was fairly popular last Christmas, but I just thought now that we've all had a little bit of extra stay-at-home time, we might want to look into something that is actually picking up in sales lately, and that is Hot Wheels. Parents love them because it gets your kids off of the screens and it gets you involved in something that you have to actually use your brain and maybe a little bit of some thinking and some physical activity. Hot Wheels, and particularly the Hot Wheels ID system, is one of those kids of all ages kind of activities. And if you don't believe me, consider this.
I remember it was dark outside. I remember pulling up to the house and I could see interior lights on, maybe a bedroom light, bathroom light on the upper level. And then as I got out of the car and walked toward the house, I could tell something was not quite right. The door was ajar. The sounds coming out of the house were just... I wasn't sure what was going on. So I walked slowly to the door. And as I got closer, what I could see were Hot Wheel tracks running down all 13 of our steps, through the foyer, out the open front door, across the sidewalk, and into the yard. The boys were shooting the cars off the second floor, down the stairs, across the foyer, through the front door, out the yard.
Also, SEMA, who is the largest car show in the world, dedicates an entire section in their outside lot to Hot Wheels. And I mean, they've got little cars, life-size cars, drifting cars, cars that people have built to replicate existing Hot Wheel models. So the concept that Hot Wheels are just for 6 and 7-year-olds is not really accurate. So what's so great about these cars, and this is one of the ID cars that I'm holding up, one of the things that I will tell you is that these work with near field communication. So each car has a little chip in it, and you can connect that car to your online garage system, which you can do through an app, like for example on an iPad. But you don't even necessarily have to have the Hot Wheels portal, which is what they call their little ID scanning system. If your smartphone has NFC, you can connect it to each car and add them that way. And these are pretty cool little cars. Now, something to keep in mind is your old Hot Wheels track system will work with this new system, and we're going to get into a little bit of what the limitations are with the older system, but it will connect. And there are some things that the new system will and won't do with the old track. Something else to keep in mind that we're going to get into a little bit is not every one of these cars performs the same. And a lot of this new ID system is built around games. So who can make the most laps? Whose car has the fastest lap time? How many laps can you do without crashing? How far can you jump? And each one of these cars performs a little bit differently, just like regular old Hot Wheels. So we've got some of our list of which cars have done the best for us, and we'll give you that list. Keep watching. And we're also going to tell you which cars were our favorites. Like I said earlier, not all of these cars perform the same on the track, and there are definitely some, if you're into competition and you want to beat your friends, we're going to tell you which ones do the best. Now, our kit came with what Hot Wheels calls a portal, and that's it right there. This is the actual NFC reader. This is how your car communicates with your smart device, like an iPad. And you do have to charge this up. You see us doing that there. And then you can add cars to your portal. This is the Super Blitzen, and this was one of our favorite cars. It did really well. You can see it being added to the garage there. It did great in both lap times, and it just stuck to the track well. It did well on jumps. It didn't fly off a whole lot. There were a couple more, and we'll take you through some of the garage loads here and show you some of those. Hot Wheels did a really good job of making the new car experience kind of magical. So these are a little bit more expensive than your traditional Hot Wheels, and they give you a little bit more with them. It's pretty cool to see a new car for the first time. You pull it out of the box like we're doing here, and you load it onto your portal, and they give you a nice little introduction. You get a little movie where the car drives in, and it kind of shows the car off to you. And if you're a car fan of any age, this is just a cool thing to mess around with on your digital device, your smart tablet. There you can see it coming in, and then you can dig into the specs about it, and you can rate it. This AMG was also another solid performer on the track. You kind of want to protect the cars you love because they're nice and you want to keep them nice, and so we were a little bit hesitant to put a lot of the jumps in and do things with these cars when we didn't have a carpeted room. Now you can see here we've got it on carpet, and we started doing that on purpose because we wouldn't want to scratch all the cars up. This is the Batmobile. There were actually 4 or 5 different versions of the Batmobile. This is the one from a video game, from the Arkham Knight video game, and it was really cool to play with, but it was not one of the better track performers. And you can see there on the box, they do kind of tell you that. It's not one of the faster ones, but it's got more longevity. Now guys, like I mentioned earlier, you do not have to have that portal. It is a nice addition, but if you just want to collect the cars and you've got a smartphone with an NFC enabled reader on it, Hot Wheels says it will work with their app. So kind of a cool thing to know. And you can carry your collection around with you in your pocket. Also pay attention to the icons on the boxes. Those are a good guide for performance or collectability, I guess, if you will. So those icons mean different things, and they tell you that the car is designed in a certain way, whether that's from a movie set, or it's a speed demon, or it's a track racer. They all have different purposes. They also can and do send firmware updates periodically to the track sets, so I'm not sure exactly what that does, whether it's just to add new car compatibility or whatnot, but just know that you do get firmware updates. Alright, and here is how you scan the cars. This is a nice little video that comes in the app, and they just kind of walk you through various challenges. One of those being scan your first car. And then you get rewards based on those challenges. So pretty cool that they kind of walk you through everything from a smart device. They don't include any paper instructions in these. The app is just an all-around cool interface, and they did a really, really great job with this. It's fun sometimes to just scroll through the app, even if you're not playing on the track. So what we're showing you here is a little bit of the setup process, and this is a one-time thing, and then it kind of takes you through basically, do you want to play with your cars or do you want to build a track? You choose. So they let you kind of pick your own path, if you will. This is an example of what we got in our track set. Now, you can buy some of these things individually, but this one came with 2 cars. It came with those curves, the straight sections, the loop that you see there, a jump, a stop, and there's different layout design options that they give you on the box. Now, it will show you in the app how to build those specific track plans. So it's cool. And remember, it's all app integrated. So when you want to learn how to do something, you don't go to like traditional paper instructions, you go to the app. Earlier I mentioned that you don't have to use the ID track, you can use traditional Hot Wheels track. One of the nice things about using the ID track is as you put your track together or take it apart, as you can see there, it adds and removes those track pieces in the virtual display on your smart device. Earlier you heard me mention performance and not all of these cars being created equal. So this portal actually also serves as a launch tool, and you do have to kind of finagle that portal, meaning you don't want to pump it too fast or too slow because you want to make sure the car goes all the way around and comes back to the portal. And if you pump it too fast, the car will just fly off the portal. And I'll show you an example of that right here. Here is another example of one of our favorite performers, guys. Now, this is actually a movie car. And it's labeled on the box with a little movie icon, but this is the 70 Ford Escort. And it did really well for us on this track system. It stayed on the track, and we were able to get it to come back around and accomplish a lot of laps successively, and it did a great job. So kind of an odd one you would think for an older car, but it was a really great performer, and there you see it. So that is just about it, everybody. As I bring this video to a close, hopefully you're inspired to go out and buy some Hot Wheels. This is a great addition to your collection. I absolutely recommend doing this. If you've been on the fence at all about this ID system, it is totally worth it. It's a great time. Like I said earlier, it's a great time for kids of all ages. You're going to have a blast with it. Your kids are going to have a blast with it. It's got something for everybody. It's got something for the gamers. It's got something for the collectors. And it's got something for just the guys that want to run track. So there you go. So that is it for this video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to mash, smash, click, and flick. Ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you liked it. Leave us a comment if there's something you'd like to see. Be sure to check out our website. It's partscounterguru.com. You can find all kinds of written information. A lot of it's automotive based. We've also got a podcast, and you can find the links to that on our website as well. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.